Buenos dias, goedemiddag, and good day. It is a pleasure to welcome you to the first MXNL matchmaking program organized by UPM and Holland House Mexico. A special welcome to Desiree Colomé from the Mexican Embassy in the Netherlands, Erik Plezier from the Dutch Embassy in Mexico, and William Thornton from the Guatemalan Embassy in the Netherlands. It is an honor to have you present here today. Thank you also to Ignacio Gomez from APAGAL and Armando Celis from MX for joining us. My name is Karin Verbrey and I'm the manager of Holland House Mexico, and I will be your host today. Today and tomorrow, we will be focusing on establishing new lines of business for Mexican and Guatemalan producers and Dutch and European importers of different fruits. Before we go any further, a few comments. Firstly, please note that this conference will be recorded and all participants will be receiving a direct link upon conclusion of the event. Secondly, it's not possible to ask questions directly to the speakers from the Brella platform, but please feel free to interact using the networking tools on the platform itself. And thirdly, we received in the last few hours a number of questions regarding the possibility to have more than one representative of each company presenting during the one-to-one meetings. And this is possible. Once you open the meeting with your counterpart, you will see a small link in the bottom on the left, on the right corner. And that one you can share with your colleague, and that way you can still enter the rooms with different people. So before we go any further, I would like to take you quickly through the program for today. So first of all, we will be listening to the words of welcome by both Desiree Colomé and Erik Plezier from their respective embassies. Then there will be a brief introduction from United Producers of Mexico and Holland House Mexico, done by Leah Bainsdorp and myself. We will be then listening to a message from Control Union and followed by a presentation from Transfer on Europe's growing fruit import market. And after that, I'm sure you all have many appointments already booked. So without further ado, I would like now to give the floor to Desiree Colomé from the Mexican Embassy in the Netherlands. Desiree?
Thank you very much, Karin, for the introduction. Good morning and good evening, well, good afternoon, everyone in the Mexico and the Netherlands. As Karin mentioned, I'm going to give just very basic points on the trade between Mexico and the Netherlands, focusing in fruits. Erik is going to go deeper into that, and I will also would like to mainly focus on what we do here at the Embassy of Mexico in the Netherlands and how we can help boost this commercial interaction between Mexican producers and Dutch buyers. If you want to go to the next slide, please. So this is just a really rough picture just to see how Mexico is a really big player in agro exports around the world. As you may be aware, we are the #1 exporter of beer, avocado, tomato. Also, we rank in the first 3 to 5 positions in tomato, lemons, asparagus. I even discovered that cauliflower is also a really important product for Mexico. This is information from 2019. You can take a look closer once the presentations are shared with you. The next one, please. This is the evolution of Mexican exports. So as you can see, agro export to the world have been increasing for the past years, and we actually have been also increasing our surplus. So we are exporting way much more than what we import, which for Mexican producers is actually a really good news. Next one, please. This is just a really brand new information. It was published by the Ministry of Agriculture of Mexico this Monday. I don't know if Erik is going to also go a little bit deeper into that, but I just wanted to mark a few points. So more than $60 billion, it's our trade, our foreign trade of agro products. So, and what it's really interesting is that it actually increased The exports increased almost 5% during 2020. This is January to November, so it's not the whole year, but we get the idea. And this is remarkable given the context of the pandemic that we've been living during 2020, and also because, well, Mexican GDP actually shrank almost 10% in 2020, but our exports and our surplus increased significantly. Again, beer, avocado, tomato, berries, lemon, mango, those are our main products, and they are becoming more and more important in the world. The next one, please. This is just a really brief also data, but it shows how the Netherlands, as you can see in the little red squares, it's actually a really important market, number 2 in most of the cases, number 3 for lemon for Mexican exports. So as you can see, the Netherlands is a great opportunity, and not also because of the Dutch market in itself, but because it is the gateway to the European market. As you know, Rotterdam is one of the main ports to enter Europe, and from here you can reach all European countries and even farther away if you consider Russia, Turkey. So we always say Mexico and the Netherlands, we share the gateway tag. Mexico is a gateway to the North American market, and the Netherlands is, for us Mexicans, a gateway to the European market. Next one, please. And so this is where I want to focus a little bit more. So what we do here at the embassy, as you may be aware, in 2019, our trade promotion agency called ProMexico disappeared. And it is now the Mexican embassies abroad, we call them RMEs, Mexican representations abroad, who absorb the economic affairs and trade promotion and the attraction of foreign direct investment to Mexico. So this is a new strategy. So now we have 80 embassies, 67 consulates around the world, working as our main face of Mexico for trade promotion purposes in the world. And back in Mexico, the new strategy that we're working with is based on a really strong collaboration between the Secretaría de Economía, the Economic Affairs Ministry, the Foreign Affairs Ministry, but also with a lot of participation from local governments and through their economic affairs local ministries or secretaries. They are grouped in what we call the AMSDE, Asociación Mexicana de Secretarios de Desarrollo Económico. And we also work a lot through local chambers of commerce or groupings of Mexican producers, exporters. So now we have a more diversified strategy in terms of actors that are intervening in it, promoting Mexican exports, and also working on the diversification of our exports, which, you know, are mainly focused in the American market. So we now work with a really strong coordination and trying to make some synergies. The next one, please. And so focusing, this is my last one, focusing on what we do internally at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and which might be more useful for you as producers trying to expand your exports or trying to see how to get in touch with potential buyers. So here we have in the center is the Secretaría de Relaciones Exteriores, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And we do, this new trade promotion strategy basically has 3 components. So the first one is the embassies, the representations abroad. So you see, that's our reach out to the world. And we mainly deal with local governments. So in this case, we work with the Dutch government, the Dutch Agricultural Ministry, Foreign Affairs Ministry, trade promotion agencies. And we also work with Dutch companies. So our work, what ProMexico used to do, is to stay in touch with these companies, identify opportunities and potential business partners for Mexican companies who want to enter the Dutch market. And also, which is not necessarily part of this event, but the other important part of our job is to find Dutch companies or help them if they're interested in investing in Mexico. And for that, well, the Netherlands has a really good network as well in our country. So the second component is where you see IEG, that means Impulso Económico Global, global economic promotion. That would be a kind of translation. This is a new area that was created inside the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And it's like a little Pro Mexico inside of the ministry. So they are in constant communication with other Mexican ministries, business organizations, local producers, exporters, and local governments to find new opportunities and to help them connect with potential business partners abroad. So they are my main channel of communication. Whenever I need something from, or I hear about a Dutch company who might be interested in going into Mexico, this is the area in Mexican headquarters where I share all the information with. And in the other way around, it's also an area in which Mexican producers and exporters can approach, and then they can direct them to the embassies or in the countries that they might be interested into selling their products. And then the final component, and this is where I finish, is the coordination with local government. So that's another area of Foreign Affairs Ministry, but that's how we also work to let local governments know of potential events, business opportunities, so that they can share this information with their local actors. There you have my contact information. I will leave it here. And that's just like a broad picture of what we do here at the embassy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Desiree. And I would like to give the word now to Eric Plessier, Agricultural Advisor at the Dutch Embassy in Mexico.
Thank you very much, Karen. I'm not sure if you can switch on my camera. There you go. And good morning, everyone. My name is Eric Plessier, and welcome. I'd like to welcome you on behalf of the embassy on this virtual matchmaking event. Welcome to the Dutch companies virtually in Mexico, and welcome to the Mexican companies in this event. And I believe there are some participants from Guatemala as well. So a very warm welcome to them as well. And as a brief introduction to you, I'd like to show you some, through some statistics and graphs, some of the recent developments in trade in fruit between Mexico and the Netherlands. And then I will close by explaining what we can do as an embassy or as an agricultural team in the embassy here in Mexico City for you. Here you can see some of the fruits that Mexico exports abroad, and the recent developments or the developments over the last 10 years. And as you can see, Mexican fruit exports are very much dominated by one particular crop that you can see here, avocado, which reached in 2019 the total export value of more than $3 billion. And the other crops are really so much overshadowed by avocado exports that it's hard to see them. So I've made a different graph here in the next slide, where you can see the rest of the crops. And here you can see without avocado that there are other crops that are actually growing quite much as well in terms of exports, especially the berries. You see a strawberry, raspberry. They've grown a lot over the last 10 years and reached more than $900 million in exports in 2019. Blackberries, blueberries are growing as well. And limes and mango, you see, are growing over the last 10 years. Pineapple and grapefruit are very low and are staying stable. And then if you go to the next slide, you'll see where these exports go. And just as the exports are dominated by one particular crop, they're also dominated by one particular market. As you can see, United States of America, the American market defines the trend in Mexican fruit exports, and is really overshadowing all other export destinations. So this also shows the need for Mexico to diversify its exports. If you look at the next 4 countries after the United States, you'll see, well, not the next slide yet, but the next 4 countries, you'll see that the next ones in order of importance are Canada, Japan, China, and then as the 4th comes the Netherlands. But again, as you can see, it's really, really tiny. So this puts a bit of perspective also on the trade between Mexico and the Netherlands. whereas it's more than any other European countries. It's a lot less than the American market. Now, what do we import from Mexico as the Netherlands? Again, there is a big domination, and this time not of just avocado, but avocado and limes, as you can see here. They really dominate the Dutch imports from the fruit imports from Mexico. Then after avocado and lime, you can see there's some banana, some grapefruits, blackberries, raspberries, mangoes, and some others. But another development you can see here is that over the last 5 years, from 2015 to 2019, our imports from Mexico have actually doubled from about 80 million euro to about 160 million euro in 2019. If we go to the next slide, you see what is happening in 2020. And there you can see that there's actually quite a reduction in our fruit imports from Mexico. And these are the statistics for the first 9 months of the year. So January till October compared with the previous year, 2019. And there you can see that this reduction is almost happening in all fruits except for mangoes. Bananas are stable as well, although it's not a lot. But especially avocados, you've seen, have fallen a lot. At the embassy, we don't really know why this is happening. It's not because we're importing less avocado from the Netherlands, but because actually in 2020, we never imported that much avocado in the Netherlands, and it became actually the #1 fruit, import fruit in value, whereas 10 years ago it was a number 10. So we've never imported that much avocado, but for some reason the import from Mexico has fallen. So we've imported more from other countries. If any of you in this room or in this event know why, then we'd be interested to know. So if you can share some information about that through the platform. If we go to the next slide, it's also, of course, we say Netherlands is the gateway to Europe. Desiree just said it as well. But we're not the only European importing country from Mexico. So if you look at who our competitors are in Europe, who else is importing fruit from Mexico, you see that Spain and France are actually our biggest competitor. Then afterwards comes the UK, Germany, Belgium. And Spain is actually growing faster than we are in the Netherlands. So these are some competitors to look out for. Then if we go to the next slide, and the last one is what we can do as an embassy for you. I've listed some of the most important activities for new companies. We can help them orient themselves a bit on the market, find potential partners perhaps. There's always business to do with the government and with the authorities here in Mexico, especially in the agricultural sector. So we often help companies and liaise or find solutions for particular problems with the authorities or the authorities in the Netherlands. We organize promotional activities such as trade missions. We had one recently in November last year. Trade fair participations in the main trade fairs here in Mexico. For example, the Expo Agroalimentaria. The Green Tech will come up in the next, well, we don't know yet when because of COVID, but we hope this year we'll see the first Green Tech Mexico edition. Then we often promote Dutch knowledge through conferences, congresses, and we share best practices of Dutch companies in sustainable trade and circular agriculture wherever we can, either through social media or through other digital events, or as I said, in conferences, trade shows. We organize network activities, often in the margin of a particular trade show or other important event. And then finally, we, not just as an embassy, but as a Dutch government, we finance research, and not just any research. We often co-finance research to promote specific new or to develop new knowledge and innovation. And a condition for this is that this knowledge and innovation contributes to what we call the knowledge and innovation agenda that as the Netherlands government we've established together with the private sector. As an example, we've been doing some research into the quality issues of fruit exports from Mexico to the Netherlands and the impact of the fast sea connection that Leah might talk a bit more later. And finally, I'd like to mention one particular study that we are planning to do this year. And this is about the sustainability in the avocado trade. As you could see in the previous slides, avocado trade has really grown a lot over the last 10 years, which of course we applaud. But there's also reports about environmental impact of this trade, especially deforestation, soil erosion, water issues, biodiversity. So, and as importing country and as consumers in the Netherlands, we're also responsible for this impact. We can't just make a transition to circular agriculture in the Netherlands and then forget about what happens in other countries in the crops that we import and that we consume or that we trade to the rest of Europe. So we'd like to know a bit more. We've seen these reports in the news, and we'd like to do a bit more research into these issues and also to connect with partners, companies like perhaps some of you that would like to increase the sustainability of the avocado trade. So any of you that is interested and committed to doing this, please get in touch with us as well. And in the last slide, you will see our contact details, which I'm sure will be circulated to you after the event today. So again, thank you very much, and have a very good matchmaking event.
Thank you very much, Eric. And without further ado, I would like to introduce our next speaker, Leah Bainsdorp from UPM. Leah?
Yes, thank you. Good morning to everybody. Can you also give me some camera so people can also see? Yes, I'm Leah Bainsdorp from United Producers of Mexico. Next. We've been, basically what we've been doing, and many people of you already know is connecting the fields of Mexico with the European market. Next. We established our office in Rotterdam. We were established as United Producers of Mexico with the goal to basically to increase agro export from Mexico to Europe, and also to improve the results, to have more results and to have more volume, but also have better results in many ways. So we've created many connections and links with producers and importers alike. We've done many events, which I'll tell you about in just a second. And people have been looking for us to support and for their different challenges along the entire export chain. Next. And well, basically, we always strive to work with as much transparency as possible. That is actually the only way to gain trust. And then in teamwork, we work with a lot of many different partners, and which you will also see with the universities to improve results and to do research and everything that comes along with pre-post harvest improvement, basically. Next. Our services, next, and what our services, we have held, before COVID, we've held 9 commercial missions with exporters to the European market, where we visit importers in their, with the qualified exporters. We visit trade fairs and everything that an exporter may need. And then also the last year we've had about 80 webinars, 8 webinars the last year with technical issues, with also always with the goal to put the exporters more in connection with the European market, to know what's going on, and also to have more contacts with qualified importers. And the same for the importers. We always strive to have as many qualified exporters to sit down at a table with you, for which we also created together with Holland House this event. Next. And with in these commercial meetings, we always put together a program of different topics that are of interest for both importers and exporters, and there's always very common interest. No? So as in order to extend shelf life, logistics issues, the express sea route, which we've been working on, and many of you already know about and have been asking about. So that's basically the programs that we work always with the goal to help you resolve all the challenges as exporters, but also as importers. Next. And with our platform, we very often get questions from exporters that have a particular problem with their fruit in the market, and we always assist them to find the best solutions, and also to be innovative and in bringing products to your attention that may improve the results, improve shelf life also for everybody. Also from importers that are looking very often to find qualified exporters or growers organizations in Mexico to put we get requests very often to be put in contact with these exporters. Next. And then we work together. We have several strategic alliances. We work together with Control Union. They've started since beginning of 2020 a quality inspection in origin in the pack house, which is very important because this will give both the exporter and the importer all the details about the fruit that they will send before it goes out, and that can be compared also there. It also connects to a quality inspection option in the Netherlands as well. In order to have the best results. The same with liquid seal. We've been introducing liquid seal to the Mexican market, and so far there have been very good results for avocado exporters, with lime exporters that wanted to ship to Russia, but it was too far. And now with liquid seal, they can extend the shelf life enough and have good results for their arrivals in Russia. Now the same for avocados, mangoes, and the other products. And then Oddflow is a product that is put in the container to help reduce cold damage or damage to the fruit in order due to temperature challenges. And then with Aweta is a Dutch selection machine for fruit especially, and we work together a lot with them as well. Next. And then, of course, we have the Express Sea Route. Last year, we had the first sailing of the Express Sea Route together with Greenseas. This was a trial shipment, and now we're working together with the carrier to start a regular route which sails every 15 days. Due to COVID, there has been, as we also could see in the previous experiences, that didn't have the volume last year, the exports from Mexico to Europe, but we are working very hard to continue with the route, and we'll keep you posted on the information as soon as possible. Thank you. Next. And this is basically what we do, and we always are here to help you resolve your challenge that you have from one end to the market to the other end of the market, increase your volume, but also to have qualified contacts. And of course, everything has to do also with everybody focusing on practical issues, which is the economic results in the end that all the growers and importers are working for. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Leah. I think most of the people listening today are very familiar with you and your work, and you will also be available for meetings today and tomorrow at the platform. So if you haven't already, then please feel free to schedule one.
Thank you.
So I'd like to take a few moments to talk quickly about Holland House Mexico and explain who we are. We are the bilateral chamber of commerce between Mexico and the Netherlands. Founded in February 2019. We are located in Mexico City, usually in this beautiful building over here. But since March last year, we've been at home mainly. We have two main objectives: to help Dutch companies be successful in the Mexican market and to promote trade, investment, and sustainable business development between our two countries. We are part of a much larger network. So as you can see here, our office is all the way over there in the Americas, and we are connected with other offices that do exactly the same as we do through the Dutch organization NL in Business. And so we are a global network of non-profit business councils focused on helping Dutch companies in overseas and the other way around. Here in Mexico, we're also part of a different team that we like to call Team Holland. And that is what explains our collaboration with the Embassy of the Netherlands here in Mexico City, the NBSO in Querétaro, and also Nuffic NASO, which is the office that promotes studying in the Netherlands here in Mexico City. So what is it that we do exactly? Well, it's basically best understood in 4 different pillars. First of all, we do a lot of business development, and we do that through events such as the one you are attending today. We organize Dutch pavilions at different industry fairs. We organize a lot of different events. And in the past year, obviously, most of those were webinars. We do digital promotion. We also venture into other services, which are also related to soft landing. So which is soft landing is really for Dutch companies coming to Mexico. And then there are several other services that we can provide as well for companies going in the other direction too. And those includes everything from a matchmaking, market research, local representation, to very to the point services such as translations, legal services, accounting, recruitment and payroll, etc., etc. Then on your right side, you will see the word community, which is also one of our strongest pillars. And that represents the members of Holland House Mexico. So we have a member base here of companies that are active, Dutch companies that are active here in Mexico, and also Mexican companies that are focused on the Dutch and European markets. And we do a lot of different things for these members, depending on their specific needs. And then lastly, there's our network, which is obviously what is most important. So we share a lot of industry insights with our members and in our network. And together we try to combine these together into favorable and sustainable networking for everybody and business development between our 2 countries. So I'd like to leave it at that as far as Holland House Mexico goes. And please make sure to get an appointment with me later if you'd like to know a little bit more. I'm sure that there is much more to tell than I just did. So just a few pointers for the matchmaking for today and tomorrow. Check your agenda ahead of the day and consider scheduling additional appointments. There's still time to do so. There's also still tomorrow. In case you're not able to get an appointment with the person you really wanted to talk to, then please let us know, and we'll try to schedule something outside of the platform on a different day. Also, you will notice that there's 5 minutes between every appointment. So please take this time to prepare for the meeting, prepare your questions in advance. And then thirdly, know your pitch. Make sure that you know exactly what you're going to have to tell about your company in order to do good business. The first few minutes, take them to get to know your partner, but also don't spend too much time on that. Every meeting is of 20 minutes, so that's quite a limited time. Be conscious that there are cultural differences between you and your partner, and make sure that you have all the necessary contact details to follow up on the meeting. So probably you already have the email address of the person, but make sure that you're well prepared. And then quickly, here are some more contact details about us. We are also on Umbrella today and tomorrow, and here's my email address as well. You can find us on social media and of course on our website. Thank you.
In the fast-moving world of international supply and value chains, we face big challenges. Big challenges that, when understood, can be made smaller, more manageable. At Control Union, we take a more rational approach to make this happen. We look at the how, the why, the when, and the where. We question not just what can be done to solve problems, but how to prevent them. That means not just doing, it means thinking, taking ownership, and innovating. If we change the way we view the world, we have the opportunity to see things differently. Growing population, globalization, pressure on crop yields, food safety, sustainability, and amplified social and ethical standards have all put pressure on companies to perform better, with greater emphasis on transparency, traceability, and compliance in the way they operate across the supply chain, from raw material to the end user. The key challenge facing commodity industries today is to meet the need for a set of common standards for worldwide operations in commodity inspections, certifications, collateral services, industrial inspections, and logistics, and to achieve it in an environment where local regulations and conditions vary widely from country to country. Our people have a wealth of experience and knowledge which has been built up over many years, and they are our greatest asset. They understand our business and, more importantly, the needs of our customers, and they have helped us develop Control Union into a global, decentralized entity. But what do we mean by that? We mean that we have become a cohesive organization where people are valued and empowered, and where everyone has a voice. Control Union people are encouraged to use their unique local experience and knowledge to find and deliver the best service solutions, serving our multinational clients both domestically and globally, constantly finding the right solutions in a complex, dynamic, and changing world. Control Union, supply and value chain solutions built by individuals who care. With offices in over 70 countries, Control Union has unrivaled experience across commodity supply chains. We provide cost-efficient, professional services in commodity inspections, load compartment inspections, draft surveys, full outturn guarantees, sampling and contractual sealing, non-toxic pest control, weight and quantity determination, stock monitoring and measurement, and warehouse inspections. In addition, we also provide fully integrated laboratory services and pride ourselves on securing a quick turnaround on quality analysis for a vast array of products, including food safety. We support our clients locally and internationally, whether we're dealing with commodities in dry or liquid form. From food commodities such as grains and oilseeds and their byproducts, molasses and vegetable oils, sugar, feeding stuffs and additives, fruit and vegetables or other materials such as biofuels, biomass, fertilizers and coal, minerals and iron ore. Our approach is the same. At Control Union, we offer a wide range of certification services which are accepted in nearly every country across the globe. We understand the needs of our clients and offer an impartial and objective service to provide what our customers need when they need it. We have several accreditations worldwide, and this gives us the flexibility and agility to deliver on time, every time. For us at Control Union, it's about providing a high-quality service with a focus on sustainability for our customers across a wide range of programs, including agriculture, aquaculture, food safety, feed, forestry, textiles, biofuel, and biomass. Safety is important, and we value product safety, food safety, the safety of our staff, and our responsibilities to protect the environment and communities in which we work. Whatever we do at Control Union, our values are at the core of every activity. We offer traceability to all our customers across our worldwide operations, whether we're developing solutions, implementing, executing or monitoring them. Everything is fully traceable through our web portal, and in-depth data is made available on, for example, agricultural practices, social criteria, water footprint, and greenhouse gas emissions for specific product chains, brands, and companies. More and more of our customers are choosing their own customized sustainable programs. Our international team of experts are familiar with the social, environmental, and economic auditing requirements and the practices of farmers, foresters, processors, and traders. This experience and knowledge allows us to deliver these customized programs on a global scale. At Control Union, we are focused on delivering high-quality, independent and reliable solutions throughout the entire supply chain. Our team of professionals are dedicated to providing an impartial and objective supply chain auditing service. We provide auditing on location, administrative checks, and dedicated sampling expertise. Our suite of efficient collateral management tools are widely used by producers, traders, distributors, and financial institutions, and can help reduce risk and facilitate access to credit. We offer permanent control of goods throughout the storage period, helping our clients mitigate the transactional risks involved in trade finance. We verify stock through each step of the shipping process, during the storage period and both inbound and outbound from the storage facility. And we have a vast amount of experience in the assessment of silos, warehouses, tanks and premises, identifying possible risks or threats to goods before or during its storage, when subject to trade finance operations. Control Union Industrial Inspection provides testing and certifying services to the global oil and gas sector. With specialist knowledge and testing technology, we are a trusted partner for the inspection, testing and certification of all types of equipment throughout the supply chain. Our local experience ensures we can guide our clients in regions where regulation and legislation is still developing. All our offices are certified according to ISO 9001 and OHSAS 18001. And as part of a worldwide, privately owned group, we are a flexible and independent partner, ready to go wherever required. All in all, this means that with Control Union as your preferred partner, you can be sure you're working with a multinational team of specialists with the knowledge and experience to deliver sustainable, profitable relationships that can mitigate risk and provide greater operational efficiencies. Quite simply, we are responsive to our clients' needs and deliver quick results to save time. When it comes to global supply and value chain stewardship, we are the trusted specialists. We are Control Union.
And thank you so much to Control Union for their message. Now to continue with our program for today, I would like to introduce Gerald Baal and Marifer Aguirre, who will be speaking about Europe's growing fruit import market, and they are both here representing Transfer. Gerald?
Dankjewel, Karin. Buenos días in Mexico. Goedemiddag in Nederland. I don't think that you can see me yet, but I hope it will soon be managed. So you have heard from Erik and from Desiree more about the relationship between the Netherlands and Mexico, and we are asked to highlight the European trends, and we will do that together with my colleague Marifer. She is Mexican, and she's been living and working in the Netherlands for over 10 years now. My name is Gerald Baal. I'm one of the founders of our company. Your interest may be to increase your export sales to Europe if you are Mexican, or the other way around if you are Dutch. On the next slide, you can see that our main activity is to assist our clients in increasing their export sales between Mexico and Europe, or Europe and the Americas. So that can either be Dutch technology, for example, for the agricultural sector that's exported to Mexico, or Mexican fruits and vegetables exported to Europe. As a small background, on the next slide, you can see that we've been active for almost 25 years now, and we've had the pleasure to have been working for over 10,000 companies, can be multinationals or medium-sized companies, and a large part of this group are agricultural companies. We have several offices. We are here present at our Dutch head office in Rotterdam, but we have offices in Barcelona, in Paris, in Germany, in Belgium, in the UK, and also in the Americas. Just to give you an idea about our clients, some multinational companies, but for you, probably interesting are the large retail chains in the European markets that we work very closely with. Lots of time they approach us, so the buyers or the category managers of the retailers approach us to see if we can help them looking for innovative and new suppliers. Well, and you in Mexico may be these innovative suppliers. We are also known as a trade mission specialist. So if the Dutch King and Queen or our Prime Minister travels to a country, that can be Mexico, Colombia, Brazil, with a large group of companies, the Dutch government used to contract us to prepare the matchmaking to set up potential partnerships. Well, Marifer will explain you about the trends in Europe and will slightly highlight the retail chains and their trends in Europe. And I will end with some suggestions of how to profit from these trends. Marifer?
Yes, thank you, Gerald. So I will go quickly through the slides as you will probably get these sent to you afterwards. But I wanted to just give you a general idea of what the highest potential products are in Europe at the moment. So we can take a look at, for example, mangoes has the highest or the fourth highest import value in Europe. We see bigger opportunities for mango imports to the Netherlands, Germany, France, and Spain. And the Netherlands is actually seen as one of the main hubs for trading mangoes. And Germany is actually the largest destination of consumption for mangoes. Avocados, for example, they've had a big growth. They've grown 145% in the last 5 years, and it's expected that the import of avocados will keep growing. Specifically for exotic fruits, we see that the best timing for importing these fruits is actually during the holidays, specifically Easter and Christmas, but also Ramadan. There's a high demand for exotic fruits. And it's good to note that the Netherlands and Belgium are actually the biggest importers when it comes to exotic fruits in Europe. Next slide, please. So here you can see the different important markets, the main importers of exotic fruit in Europe. And you can see that the best opportunities actually lie with the Netherlands, Germany, and France. Germany and France have actually the highest import values. And another country that's quite interesting to mention is the United Kingdom, as it's quite an attractive market with quite varied demand through the year. Next slide, please. So the Netherlands is quite a cost-efficient and competitive market. There are high expectations when it comes to quality and packaging, especially the convenience in the Dutch market is very important for consumers. So having, for example, ready-to-eat avocados or pre-cut fruits for when someone's going for lunch. It's a very good entry market for niche and exotic fruits. And it's good to mention that the Netherlands has quite some strict regulations regarding pesticides and also some certifications to keep in mind. Next slide, please. So we can see here the main retailers in the Netherlands. If you are not familiar with them, well, the Albert Heijn and Jumbo are the biggest ones in the Netherlands. And if you look in the next slide, you're going to see pictures that our colleagues have actually taken in the Netherlands of retailers and how they display products. In the Netherlands, you see that packaging is, as I mentioned, quite important, whether things are seedless or ready to eat. As I mentioned, snack fruits are quite important, and the organic aisles keep becoming bigger and bigger. So now we go to the German market. Next slide, please. Here we see that the German market has great potential for organic fruits. It's actually the largest market of organic food and accounts for 29% of the total retail sales of organic products in the European Union. It's a market where the easiest way to enter is contacting people in trade fairs. And it's good to mention as well that they have a high attention for lowering the use of pesticides. Another thing that's quite interesting, that's very different to the Netherlands, for example, is that there's a German packaging law that sets certain restrictions for waste in packaging and also sets targets for recycling. Next slide, please. So here you can see an overview of certain retailers, and it's good to mention that these retailers, for example, in Aldi or Lidl, are among retailers that are in more European countries. So it's very important to, when you enter a market such as Germany that has these big retailers that also are in other markets, to go directly to the source, because then you can easily be translated your sales into other neighboring markets. So in the next slide, you will see that our colleagues have also taken pictures in Germany, where there's a real big focus on organic and also very neatly displayed products. And then we move quickly to France. It's a growing market, specifically for mangoes and avocados. Lychees, passion fruit, pitaya, and tamarinds are also growing. So it's very good to keep that in mind. Something that's also quite interesting is that originally exotic fruits in the French market used to come from the French department overseas, but now more and more retailers are looking into other markets to import their fruits from, and retail chains are also tending to go more towards directly buying from overseas growers. So in the next slide, you'll see some retailers. Of course, I can imagine that you're known with names as Carrefour and the Casino Group. Similar to the Germans retail chains, it's good to already, if you supply for example, the French Carrefour, then you'll easily come into the Belgium or Spanish market where they also have suppliers. If we look at the pictures, for example, in France, you can see that our colleagues really, they're quite small, but if you would zoom in on them, you see that the land of origin is very prominently displayed. This is something that's very specific to France, to give the consumer the chance to pick where the product comes from. In the pictures, you can see that some avocados, for example, they have avocados from Mexico, but they also have from Peru. So they consumers can pick and choose. The pre-cut market is actually quite low in France. Now we go to the United Kingdom, and this is quite generally a good market for imported fresh fruits and actually new kinds of fruits. The consumers react quite good to new types. Lychees, pitaya, passion fruit, and pomegranates are quite popular. And of course, there is the uncertainty of Brexit at the moment, where we just have to find out and see how the market develops. So we'll see a slide with retailers and then go quickly into the pictures that we have from our colleagues as well. You'll see that there are quite big fruit aisles in the UK. The focus is also on lower pricing for fresher products. And there's also, similar to France, quite a low amount of packaged products. So we have Belgium, which is, as we mentioned before, together with the Netherlands as well, quite an important importer in Europe. They import actually 70% of the fruits that get traded through Europe. So we can move quickly to the slides of the retailers in Belgium. So you can take a look at those. As we mentioned, Carrefour is also one of the big retailers in Belgium. And if we go to the pictures, you'll see that pre-cut and already packaged fruits are also quite on the rise in the Belgian market. So then we move next. Spain, also quite an interesting market. I will just give you a quick example when it comes to avocados. They are the main exporter of avocados within Europe, but they also need to import more avocados. So the need for avocados and limes in Spain is quite urgent at the moment. So we can go to the slide of pictures. There's a strong emphasis on the local market and actually no emphasis on country of origin when it comes to displaying products. So now we can go to the next slide, and I just want to leave you with some European trends at the moment. There's a really big trend on directly sourcing from large and stable producers and not going through wholesalers. There's high interest from consumers in new fruits and flavors. Sustainability, consciousness, convenience, organic, all of those are important. And one funny topic is also ugly fruits are on the rise in Europe. So don't worry if your fruit doesn't look the best, it's still going to be accepted in the European market. And now I'll give Gerald the closing slide.
Well, I can imagine that after seeing these trends, that you are even more interested in exporting to the European markets. Well, basically there are two ways of doing that. Either by using an importer slash distributor, for example, in the Netherlands, that after that sells it and export it to the other countries. But there's a growing interest, what we found out also from Mexican exporters, is to start selling this directly themselves to the retailers and the wholesalers. If you opt for that last option, that there would be a good fit with the trend of the larger retail chains in Europe that tend to source even more directly from the growers. There are two things that are key if you opt for that option. First of all, you need to have a local presence. So you would need to have a sales office from yourself in the main European markets. And secondly, that's what the retailers demand, is they demand a very constant supply. So a constant level of quality and quantity as well. And of course, you would have to comply with the regulations, with the packaging regulations, the certifications. That's logical. On the next slide, you can see in what way we could help you with these direct sales to the retailers. Together with Leah from UPM, we've developed a way for Mexican exporters to directly sell to the retailers and having their sales point of their own, using our offices in the several European countries that often function as these local points of sale. And that way you could create, for example, the Mexican avocado hub France or the Mexican mango hub Germany, just by using our offices. The advantage for you would be that you would gain a larger margin for yourselves and have more control on your market. So you will know your own client and you won't depend on other parties. I can imagine that you are interested in finding out more about this. Well, please contact us directly in one of our offices where Spanish is always very well spoken. But in this case, well, Leah could be your point of contact as well, as everybody of you already know Leah. Thank you very much, Leah and Karin, for the organization and for the Mexican exporters. Well, esperamos verlos muy pronto aquí en Europa. Have a very good virtual matchmaking.
Thank you very much, Gerald, and also thank you, Marifer, for your insights. It was very interesting to hear. I'm sure that there are a lot of more questions on this topic since our time was a little bit limited, but for now, thank you very much. Lastly, I would like to give the word to Karina Lerma, who is going to speak to us quickly about Valmic logistics. Karina?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Karen. Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well and moreover healthy. As Valmic, I would like to introduce myself. I am Karina Lerma, and yes, I am head of the Valmic Logistics Organization in Mexico. We are a Mexican logistics operator that is actually headed office in Mexico City. We are here actually focusing on the Mexican market, and our organization is formed by a team of experts with over 23 years of expertise in the Mexican freight forwarding business. So this is quite a long time in which we have learned not only the Mexican customer, but also the Mexican authorities and the whole Mexican environment, so we can provide customers with high quality service. As this slide is showing, quality is our incentive, and therefore we put priority to ensure standards of excellence in all of our transactions. Why is this important for us? Because everybody says it delivers quality, but when it comes to perishable business and perishable freight forwarding services, we started seeing that many customers were complaining about the lack of service, reliability, and trustworthiness in the services provided by many of the logistics operators in the market. This is why we focused on quality first. Our service portfolio relies on the following. We provide all kinds of transportation modalities: sea freight, air freight, overland, customs brokerage, and packaging. However, we do, based on the reefer container, we do all kinds of services that any customer may require, such as temperature controlled, atmosphere controlled, air freight specialized services, because we have very good alliances with the main carriers in Mexico. And we provide envirotainers, we provide data loggers, and all the latest technology for customers to have full tracking on their cargoes. In regards to overland, we have a very strong network in the US, Canada, and Central America to provide certainty for our customers for FTL deliveries throughout these countries. On the domestic side, we also do a lot of, we do local deliveries and local pickups, and we are very strained and linked to a service provider in the Netherlands, which you can see the whole presentation in the carousel based for this, because we know we have very little time, and you can check it there. Finally, last but not least, our guarantee is based on operative, financial, and service KPIs. We have a basic KPI set, which we will gladly share with you along the day, and we can see for guarantee service throughout the whole transportation needs that you may have. Okay. Can we move one step forward? Our global network, we are members of the world's leading cargo networks, giving you operative coverage anywhere you need. As you can see, we are FIATA certified. We also belong to Amacarga and Amanac here in Mexico, which are the largest freight forwarding associations in the country. And we are part of the EWC network, which gives us coverage worldwide in over 50 countries throughout the world. We issue our own house bill of lading, and we also provide insurance and packaging services, which are manufactured and designed directly in Valmic, not third-partied. All this you can also see within the very lengthy presentation and complete presentation that we have for you along the carousel throughout the day. Okay. Thank you very much for your time and attention.
Thank you very much, Karina. Thereby, I would like to thank you all for tuning in today, and we hope that you enjoyed today's conferences. This is the end of the conference of the first day. A special thank you to our speakers, Desiree Colomé, Eric Plessier, Marifer Aguirre, and Gerald Bau, for sharing all of your insights with us today. I'm sure that there are a lot of questions, and I hope that the rest of the day we can use to speak about some of those. We will continue our program now with the personalized matchmaking sessions, and we will be back to you with a live transmission of conferences tomorrow. Enjoy the networking and see you then. Bye.